Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Brother David. It's getting real. And I'm telling you what now, the weather's fixing to start getting real. They're talking about high winds, thunderstorms, hail tonight. Where I live at here, Mississippi State, so I'm in Mississippi. And, a lot of people get scared and terrified of storms, and they freak out with storms and stuff like that. But life storms are more scary than thunderstorms. People living in the storm. I think about the disciples on the boat with Jesus. And he's sleeping in the bottom of the boat with no cares in the world. The storms all around, lightning, wind, waves. The boat is being tossed to and fro. And the disciples are panicking, and they wake him up and said, "We're all gonna die." And Jesus just looks at them and turns to the storm and says, "Be still." And boom, the wind stop blowing, the waves settle down, sky open back up. Jesus do that in our life. In the storms of our life, Jesus is the one that's in charge. And that's who we need to trust. I've got a saying. I just want you to listen to this. I'm not going to die until it's my time. I'm going to live until the day I die, and not a day longer. And being afraid of storms, being afraid of life is not in my game. I serve the one that's in charge, and I serve the one that is in control. And I trust him. So when the storms of life comes, instead of panicking, just give it to the one that's in charge. Too often we get hung up on our problems, what's going on with us, and we forget about how those problems teach us to trust God more, to depend on him more. And excuse me one moment, get y'all settled down a little bit. And people are, I've just been in town picking up some stuff, getting some stuff ready for a sale, and I went and got some stuff so I could finish what I'm doing. And people are panicking. They're panic buying. Trust. Lights go out. Trust. Life is too short to live in fear. And that's why God gives us the peace when we trust him. He gives us a peace, a joy, that we can sit there and whip the world instead of the world whipping us. And don't get me wrong, yes, I worry. I get worried about things and stuff like that, But in the end, I turn to the one that's in charge. In the end, I depend on the one that died for me on the cross. He paid it all. He's the creator of the universe. The storms and the seas listen to his voice and obey his commands. And if nature obeys him, then I surely must obey him and trust him and live for him and serve him. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I used to be a rounder when I was younger. I could drink with the best of them. I could fight. Ain't nobody love a good fight better than me. You know, and I was a heathen until Jesus got me. And when I thought I was having all that fun and all that experience and all that good stuff, I wasn't. You know, I was just 100% living for Satan, and I was a heathen to the core. And when Jesus got me, when Jesus changed my life, I realized I wasn't having fun. There wasn't joy in my heart. What I used to think was fun, I came to realize was detrimental to me and to those around me. You know, I was entertaining other people by being stupid and foolish, doing the things that I did. And that night I had that young man on the ground with a beer bottle, a pony beer bottle that I had cracked, busted, cut my hand, blood running from my hand. And I had that shard of his throat and I was going to cut it. And I heard a voice. No. Stop. Get up and walk away. And I did. I obeyed the voice. And I bandaged my old hand up and I went back home. And I knew who had spoke to me, and I picked up the Bible and I started reading. I started in Matthew. And I started reading. And the further I got into Matthew, the more I came to realize I needed help. I didn't need man's help. I needed God's help. And I surrendered to Jesus Christ. When I did, my life changed totally at that time. I no longer wanted drink. I don't want drink today. I used to dip. I'm 19 years, 20 years recovering addict to tobacco. I was a youth minister and was at a camp. I bought a brand new roll of tobacco. It's gold. 20 cans in that roll. And I was at a meeting that night, one night, and I don't even remember what the guy was talking about. But I remember the voice that talked to me. It told me that I need to give tobacco up. It wasn't being a good example. And it wasn't being a good mirror, a good image of Jesus Christ. And I threw that roll in the garbage can that night. And for the last 20 years, I have not had a dip. I've had the urges and I've had the temptation. But Jesus gave me the strength to overcome. See, that's what it means when you trust God. That was what it means when you serve God. He gives you the strength to do that which He tells you to do. And if God is telling you that something in your life is being detrimental to you and not providing a good image of Him, then it's our responsibility to sacrifice that God. Because once He reveals that something in your life shouldn't be there, then it becomes our responsibility to give it up. And the more we fight God on that, the more pressure and the more punishment we have to endure because we are not obeying God. So, if you're having problems today, if you're facing, if you know you're doing something that God has told you not to be doing, and you're not giving that up, and you're facing pressure, and you're facing storms in your life, it's time for you to trust God, obey God, and serve God. It's time for you to sacrifice that which He reveals to you as being detrimental, that you need to get rid of, that you need to end. It's time to give it up. You know, just like these talks that I do, there are times when, like today, I'm just driving down the highway and God said, do a talk. I don't know who's watching these. I never look at it. I believe that God is going to have those that need to hear what He's given me to say. They'll hear it. I'm not about looking for numbers or getting monetized or anything like that. So, I hope this talk has helped somebody, it has maybe opened somebody's eyes or calmed somebody or assured somebody, because I'm telling you right now, if you're doing what God has called you to do, if you're obeying God's voice when He talks to you, because He will talk to you, you will have the strength to overcome that which is in this world. So my prayer for you is that you hear this and you obey what God tells you to do. Until the next time, God bless you.